Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Urban Farmer channel. In this episode I'll talk about my tomatoes, or tomato plants that I planted. I'll talk about some strategies around planting in tomatoes, and the other thing that I'll talk about is my new little bit of kit that I bought, which is basically a microphone. It's a wireless microphone, which means I can stick my camera in one corner, go away, do stuff, and you'll still be able to hear me talk. And I'll unbox this on my other channel. I'll put the card somewhere on the screen. So I've got two channels. One of them is very specific, this Urban Farmer channel, and the other one is more like a vlogging, unboxing and all that sort of stuff. And basically a bunch of stuff on there. So the other one's like a capture all type thing. So I'll be doing this on the other channel. Anyway, so let's get into the video. I recorded this once before, but my microphone wasn't turned on. It's so annoying that the thing just doesn't turn on automatically when you plug it into the camera. But anyway, a couple of things I want to share with you is the tomatoes that I planted. I suppose when you plant tomatoes, and something that I learned from last year is that you don't want to plant them too close together. So I planted them apart, probably about half a meter apart, which is I think good enough. And then what that'll allow me to do is I can then go and have a look at what is compatible with planting to plant with my tomatoes, and then I can plant it at the front and at the back as well. So I do have that option of planting more than one thing in close proximity. I just don't want to plant too many tomatoes together. The second strategy when planting tomatoes is that you don't plant all of your tomatoes in one go. So I planted two now. I'll probably plant two in a couple of weeks, two in a couple of weeks after that, and then two in a couple of weeks after that. So when these first ones fruit and they provide us with abundance of tomatoes, and then they die off and we sort of cut them off and all that sort of stuff, the next batch will be up and running, and so forth and so forth. So you can see how we can try and extend the season as much as we possibly can, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do. So the tomatoes that I planted, I've actually planted two varieties. One is the Heirloom Selection pink. It's called Pink Bumblebee. So it's this one here. I don't know if that might not have shown on the camera properly, but I'll get a shot of that. I think that's that one there. And the other one is a Tomito. So it's also a Heirloom Selection. It's a Tomito. We had that one last year. And I'll just have a look at, I'll pull this ticket thing out, because I'll stick those in the ground eventually, but I just want to share with you what the tomato is actually like. Okay, after about a million technical difficulties, what happened? Something about the card, and then both of my batteries are basically dead. So yeah, let's get back to the program. Basically, what I'll do is I'll read a little bit back from this, at the back of this card, which is the Pink Bumblebee. And it says, why is it a heirloom? Well, a striking pink striped cherry tomato that has taken organic and farmers markets off the US by storm. Pink Bumblebee is a true artisan tomato, modern heirloom with exceptional flower and color, bearing a mass of vibrant sweet fruits over an extended period, which is great. That's exactly what we want. This tomato is a colorful addition to any salad and a must for the tomato garden. I really can't wait to, I don't think I've ever actually planted this one before, so I really can't wait to see this in actual real life, to be honest. So large climate variance, so it means basically it can live in more than one climate. It's not just hot weather or cold or whatever. A Diggers Club taste test winner, try it yourself, which I will. Growing tips: plant tomato seedlings out when soil temperature reaches 15 or more degrees, which it has here. It's reached 30 basically, which is quite unusual. And after risk of frost has passed, which it has, but it's Melbourne, so we really never know. It could basically snow at any moment. Plant in full sun and enrich the soil with compost and well-rotted manure, which I have done. In pots, use a premium organic potting mix, which I absolutely recommend, and mulch and water regularly, especially during hot weather. Stake at planting. I actually haven't staked it just yet. I do have stakes, and I'll probably do that in next day or two. So this one is quite good, and it says it needs to be in full sun, it needs some regular watering, 60 centimeters from another tomato plant, it goes 150 centimeters in height, and 10 weeks to harvest. So that is our pink bumblebee, which is this one here. So I'm just going to stick that right there. And then what do we have? We've got Tomito. So let's see what they say about Tomito. Why is this a heirloom? So this tomato is the standard by which Diggers judges all other tomatoes. A taste test winner time and time again, and all-around performer. Tomito reliably produces trusses of 79 perfectly uniform fruits, perfect for the roasting tray, which I've tried and is absolutely amazing. Versatile profile and delicious. It is the largest of the cherry tomatoes and the trusty garden staple that's perfect for the pots and garden beds. Fruits in 10 weeks from transplant yields 11 kilos per plant. 11 kilos of tomatoes. I mean, seriously, like, do you eat that much tomato? I mean, think about, like, if you had, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 of these plants, who would eat 40 kilos of tomatoes? Like, that's just bloody insane if you ask me. So growing tips: plant the tomato seedlings out when the soil temperature reaches 15 degrees, which it has, or more, and after risk of frost has passed, which it has, but Melbourne, you know. Plant in full sun and enrich soil with compost and well-rotted manure, which it has been. In pots, use premium organic potting mix, mulch and water regularly, which we're going to be doing, especially during the hot weather, which we're obviously doing. Stake at planting, which I haven't done, but I will. So I don't, you know, I've only planted it a day ago, so it's not going to spread roots just now, but I'm definitely going to put some stakes down. So it loves full sun, it loves some regular watering. It needs to be planted about 60 centimeters away from another tomato plant. Without getting my ruler out, it's like almost there. It grows to 1.5 meters in height, so 150 centimeters. It takes 10 weeks to harvest. So I think that's yeah, that's pretty good. So what are we now? So we're October, November. We're talking about mid to end December, where I will be probably having my first tomatoes. And I'll probably plant similar sized tomatoes, give or take, in about 3 weeks time, so that I have some through mid, you know, sort of mid to end January, and then I'll plant some about 3 or 4 weeks after, so I have some in February as well, and I might even plant some after that to have some in March. The only thing that I'm going to have to do is maybe just cover it in case there's some, you know, bad weather or whatever else. But yeah, it's not usually a big problem. Okay, so those are all my well, really only 2 tomatoes that I planted, but I hope that you got something from that. Basically, that one of these tomatoes produces a lot of bloody fruit, and both of these combined will give us, give or take, I don't know, they say 22 kilos of tomatoes. Let's say it gives us 15. That is a lot of tomatoes. I mean, you go to the store and buy 15 kilos of tomatoes, and you'll see how many bags of tomatoes that is. The good thing is, because it is on the plant itself, you know, if you buy 15 kilos of store tomatoes, you've got to use them within 2-3 days. Here, 15 kilos might last you a whole month, right, on the plant, because it just gets fed and it gets its nutrients and so forth. So that's that, yeah. So if you really like this video, if you enjoyed the content, you know, if you enjoyed my presenting, or if you've got any tips and hints for me, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. So if you'd like to subscribe, please do. If you like the video, like it. If you don't, dislike it. At least I'll know what to do next time. Yeah, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, thank you. Bye.